Just a
He didn't ask for
quick
a
story.
copay?
He didn't ask for a copay. Didn't, you know, if you're looking at it, he did the Roman centurion, the rich man. He took care of his son just as quick as he did the Samaritan, who was a Samaritan leper, who obviously was despised by the Jews. He took care of the poor. He took care of women. It didn't matter. Race, creed, money, it didn't matter at all. And that's where I think we need to be. A real quick story from my walk last year. When I got to Columbus, it was set up so that, and I'm doing the same thing again this year, I'm leaving with my backpack, and every night somebody's supposed to take me in. Hopefully they'll set up some sort of public meeting so we can get the word out. They'll take me home, clean me up, feed me, and throw me out in the morning. When I left last year, I had 7 places that I was scheduled to stay at on a 22-day walk. It worked out that I had a place to stay every night. There was some sort of media coverage almost every day. One of my favorites was when I got to Columbus. Dr. Farina said, I spent the night at her house. And she said, tomorrow morning, she said, I've got an interview set up for you. I said, oh, great. She said, it's going to be a live TV. And I said, perfect. She said, it's going to be at 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, who's watching TV at 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning? I said, but we'll do it, whatever it is. I agree to participate fully in whatever anybody has planned. So, first of all, last year in July of 06, if you recall, it was very, very wet month. It rained almost every day, except where Dave was. Dave got 4 hours of rain the entire month that I was out. Now, the day of the interview, it was a man on the street interview. Pouring down rain. Thunderstorm, lightning flashing in the background, made for TV. I mean, pouring off the brim of my hat. Mark and Mindy are in the studio. They asked me some questions. We talked about the act, talked about why I was doing it, et cetera, et cetera. And, we finished it up. It was probably about 10 minutes. Half an hour down the road, the sun came out, dried out. It was beautiful the rest of the day. The next day was Sunday, and it was about 9:30. I'm walking past this real picturesque Methodist church, it's the white siding and the big, tall, skinny steeple. And I saw the church started at 9:45. Well, this week I'm a Methodist, so I walk in the door. And, usually you go in the back of the church. The door I walked in brought me in right next to the lectern. So this lady looks at me. Weren't you on TV yesterday? I said, yes, ma'am. We talked for a little bit. I found out, first of all, that segment was so good because of the way it worked out that they showed it 4 more times throughout the day on every news show in the Columbus area on that channel. And I talked to some other people before, when service was getting ready to start. This one woman comes up to me and identified herself as a deaconess. And she said, our pastor went into the hospital on Thursday to have his gallbladder removed, but they couldn't do it because he had, what's it called?
Pacemaker.
Well, water remover. Yeah. She said, pericarditis. So they couldn't do the surgery and wanted to know if I could come up and speak a little bit about, the act and why I do it, why I'm involved in this. So I got to deliver a 20-minute sermon on the Healthcare for All Ohioans Act. So, to me, it's the right thing to do. It's the right time to do it. People need it. Ohioans are dying every day. We lose 18,000 people in this country every year because of lack of health care. 18,000. That's 3 times as many people as would die in the Twin Towers. And yet this administration refuses to invade the insurance companies like he invaded a sovereign nation. This is a time. This is something that has got to happen. We've got to take care of people in this country. We've got to take care of people in this state. If Ohio does this, and Ohio will eventually do this, if we can be first on this, we can lead the nation. And we can get a lot of business into Ohio. We can create a lot of jobs in Ohio.
What about her question of opposition?
Opposition, yes. Yes, there is some. Again, we're talking about insurance companies. Like I said, there's a $72 billion economy in Ohio for healthcare, half of which is paid privately, which is insurance companies. And think about this now, insurance companies are getting 20 to 30 cents on every healthcare dollar. So 30 cents of every dollar of $36 billion is like $10 billion. So they stand to lose a lot. The pharmaceuticals stand to lose a lot because we're, again, the Healthcare for All Ohioans Act is going to cover prescription drugs for people. So yeah, there's going to be some serious money up against us. But we've got the one thing that they don't have, and that's we've got people. And it's, we've got, in Ohio, we have 1.5 million uninsured people. And we have at least that many underinsured people. All we have to do is get the word out to them. And it's slowly but surely getting out there. And we need help from everybody. Students have always been, at colleges and universities, have always been the source for change in this country. The 60s with Vietnam, colleges and universities have always been the source of free-thinking individuals, people who are willing to get out there and do things. Each petition book holds 65 signatures. If every student on this campus went out and filled up a book, we'd be done tomorrow. And it's easy. Personally, I've collected over 4,000 signatures. And I would say that, of course you get some people who don't even let you say why you're there. But anybody that I've been able to talk to, I would say over 90% of them sign it. And a lot of them want to sign for their wives or husbands or whatever. I have to explain to them that they can't do that. But it's something that everybody wants. It's something that everybody needs. And the problem's going to be with the money, they're going to put on the ads, just like they did with the Harry and Louise ads with Clinton. And she was keeping the insurance companies in. And they were paying money to shut her up. Well, the small ones put up the money for that. Because her plan was going to get rid of all the small insurance companies and keep just a few big ones and let them have all the money. And the little insurance companies got together and paid for those ads as well as a lot of the other national health insurance information. So
the big thing here is this is socialized medicine. And no, this is not socialized medicine. The socialized programs in Canada are provincial and the government has control. The doctors are government employees. These are private doctors, private patients, private and public hospitals. It's not socialized medicine.
The reality versus myth.
Yes.
If you think about it, right now, if you walk out here and step in front of a bus, the city of Akron is going to send an ambulance, pick you up, give you all the medical care they can, and get you to the nearest hospital, where the first question is going to be, who are you and what's your insurance? What's the difference? There's some things that we do together socially that we do better individually. The police department. Do you want private police? Let's get rid of the socialized police department and have private police. We used to have private fire departments in this country until the 1800s. You want insurance. And when you bought the insurance, you got a plaque that you put on your house. And if your house caught on fire, the fire department came. If you had the plaque, they put the fire out. If you didn't have the plaque, and your neighbor did, they made sure your neighbor's house didn't catch on fire while yours burned down because you didn't have insurance. That's a lot like our insurance system works today in healthcare. They take care of me because I've got good insurance. If you're sick and you don't have good insurance, they're going to watch you until you're too sick, and then you can possibly get on Medicaid. and get some treatment, some end-of-life palliative care, whatever, but they're not going to get in there early and take care of you. It's insane. It makes absolutely no sense.
What's the relationship between the presence of, or the lack, I guess, of the presence of public hospitals and this plan? Because one might believe, well, if there is a public hospital in my community, I don't need private insurance quite as much, so therefore this argument of getting rid of private insurance is less important, because I can always go to the Metro.
Well, here's the thing. Here's one of my things, and you can clean this up a little bit when I get done. But essentially, if I'm epileptic or diabetic, and I wake up today and I don't have any money, I don't have any insurance, I don't have my test strips, I don't have any insulin, or if I'm epileptic, I don't have any. I don't have my medication. And I go. I walk into the emergency room and say, "Hey, I'm Dave, and I'm an epileptic, and I need some Dilantin." And they say, "Well, you're experiencing horror right now. Is there anything wrong right now?" I said, "Well, no, but later on today, if I don't get my Dilantin, I'm going to have a problem." Basically, the emergency room's going to say, "Well, come on back when you got the problem." So I'll walk down the street, and I'll sit on the curb, whatever, till I either go into a diabetic coma if I'm diabetic, or if I'm epileptic. When I go into a seizure, somebody will call an ambulance. They'll take me to the hospital. They'll give me what I need, and they'll give me a prescription that I had this morning anyway, and I couldn't afford to fill, and send me on my way. It's insane. There's absolutely no sense of it. Now, obviously, the hospital can't afford to, everybody that walks in, just, give them a handful of Dilantin or give them, test strips and insulin or whatever they say they need, because that's the way our system is currently set up. And that's one of the things that this will correct. It will also correct the day-to-day doctor visits, the fact that essentially hospitals will be working on a budget under this system. They'll submit a budget, and all a budget is a plan. This is how much money we're going to spend. Again, I'm not from the Akron area, but I know that if I drive from my house in Cleveland out to Lorain County, as I'm driving out 90, I probably pass 10 or 12 billboards talking about the newest, the biggest, the bestest CRT and MRI machines available, because they're advertising, because they don't have enough business for these machines, because what they're doing is they're putting a place in to make money, and it's okay if they put this place out of business because theirs is a little bit bigger, a little bit newer, whatever. It doesn't matter about the capacity. They'll let the market get rid of the smaller places when it doesn't really need to be gotten rid of. So that, it's going to, before they can do that, there used to be a certificate of need before you could build a facility in Ohio. And that's gone. If you've got the money in the capital, you can invest. You can do just like the Cleveland Clinic, or just like University Hospital. You keep buying up all the hospitals, all the different facilities, and putting the other ones out of business. So that you get to a point where last summer, a child was shot within 20 blocks, I would say, of the Cleveland Clinic. And that child was life-flighted to Metro. It makes no sense. Obviously, Metro has the level 1 trauma center, but why wouldn't a world-class facility, Cleveland Clinic, University Hospital, right there in the neighborhood, why wouldn't that child go there? Doesn't make any sense.
Well, I can tell you millions of stories, and the belief and the perceptions have nothing to do with the reality. Every hospital in this nation is entitled to a program called HCAP, which is an emergency hospital payment, but but you have to be, we're talking those poverty levels again to qualify for it. Most hospitals that are private hospitals don't advertise that they have it, that you can use it because they don't want to deal with that population. It's still not the same reimbursement that they're going to get through a private company. Occasionally you will see signs posted at any hospital, if you're unable to pay your bill, please let us know. But they don't go out and publicize that they're eligible for the same program, but you have to be very poor to qualify for it. What Metro has is different than the other hospitals is we have then, in addition to that, a sliding fee scale, which we call our rating system. That is not federally funded, that is county funded and some state dollars. So what that means is anybody from out of county is not eligible for that portion of the program. But we get out of county patients all the time, on life-flighted patients. Take high-risk OB, for example, which we're also very well known for. Right now, with the cost of malpractice insurance and other things, people are going out of the business of high-risk obstetrical care. We get patients into our high-risk OB unit from Lorain County, from Medina County, from Geauga County, because there's nothing there. Further south, they tend to come more this direction. But they're not eligible for the sliding fee scale if they're not county residents. If they don't meet the Healthy Start guidelines, if they don't meet other things going on, they're not eligible for that anyway. But people are of the perception in the community, they'll go to Metro and it'll be paid for and it's free, and that is not the reality. They're still going to get a bill. They may not pay the bill. And then if they don't pay the bill, what happened to the dollars? You have hospitals going under because they can't afford it. That's why a lot of public hospitals have gone under. Or it's passed on to the other healthcare ways that we've discussed. It's not, that's one of the fallacies when people talk to me. When people talk about their taxes going up, they forget that they pay for it in another way now anyway. It's in your county dollars, it may be in your state tax dollars, it may be in your hospital bill, it may be in your insurance cost. It's also to me a fallacy when people talk about their tax rates going up. When I have a friend right now who's trying to retire earlier than 65 when she might be eligible for Medicare. She went to her retirement board, she looked into it, she's found out to retire at the age she wants to retire and keep coverage for herself and her husband, she's going to be spending between $250 and $300 a month to keep the coverage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you add that up times 12 months and take the percentage of her income, even if there were a 10% tax on her income, she's going to spend more than that anyway in the out-of-pocket expenses to keep that insurance. So people forget that it sounds like, well, I don't want my taxes to go up, but they forget that average citizens who have had health insurance for their lives are still paying an out-of-pocket fee. They're paying for part of their own insurance, they're paying deductibles, they're paying co-pays, they're paying prescription costs, and if you add up the dollars spent in a year, even if you were taxed 10% of your income instead, I bet you if you look at the scale for many people, it would still be less expensive to pay that, even if that were the way it was being funded. Does that answer that question?
And if you can't pay it, sometimes you lose your house.
Yes.
Come on, so that's another.
Sure, absolutely. It's a shame that if we get sick in this country, we can be facing a whole lot of other issues. And and then we haven't even talked about, which you hinted at a little bit, even if you have employer-sponsored insurance, but you get so sick you can no longer work, do you keep that employer-sponsored health insurance? No. You lose your job, you lose your coverage. And if you are so devastatingly sick that you can't work, and you need that health insurance because you're devastatingly sick, what do you do?
I think Oprah, I don't quote Oprah very often, but on her show where she interviewed Michael Moore, she put it very well. As a society, do we in fact believe that the son of a gas station attendant is equal for healthcare, has the same right to healthcare as the son of McGuire, the CEO of United Healthcare? Do we really fundamentally believe that those two people have the equal right to good health? I mean, the United Nations believes it. It's part of the Constitution of the United Nations. But do we as a people truly believe that? And if we do, what are we going to do about it?
Well, and unfortunately, the people who side generally on the side of, you know what, I've worked my whole life, I've earned this, let people go to work, let them figure it out for themselves, will change their tune in an instant if they face a devastating situation.
If people don't understand how quick they, you know, one of the things we say in Span is there's three kinds of people in this country. There's the uninsured, there's the underinsured, and there's the rest of us, and we're just unsure. Because whatever we've got right now, we can lose it tomorrow.
I have one very quick
Remember
question.
Frank Cominelli speaking at the meeting a few weeks ago about the wealthy men and the cancer? And the only reason they said to him, you were going to come like that, is that I'm spending $18,000 on this cancer treatment, which, you know, the whole millionaires can afford. But it's people who don't. The average one knows.
Very quick question. Under this plan, it says the funding, the very last item is funds from government sources. How much would that be? And that is particularly prickly these days when the state of Ohio is facing a budget shortfall.
Essentially, what that is, I touched on it before a little bit, was what we'd like to do, and we can't do it until it's enacted, is go to the federal government when this is enacted and say, give us the Medicare money, give us the Medicaid money, the veterans money, and go away.
We're not talking about extra
No,
state money.
no. The way we came up with this funding plan, the first thing we did was we looked to see how much money is being spent in Ohio. And then, after we found out how much was being spent, and then, you know, we saw how much was being spent by the government, and we saw we had to raise $36 billion, the taxes that we have here will raise that. So we're not looking at getting any more money. And then with the, you know, again with the $36 billion, and you take out the 30% of that that's currently going to administrative and profits for insurance companies, will be more than enough to cover all the uninsured in Ohio. And we actually expect to have an excess of funds. One of the things that you'll notice that we said in the thing is we use the term resident as opposed to citizens. So we didn't set that because there's just so many ifs, ands, or buts. There are provisions in the bill for that to be determined. The bottom line is, if you go into a hospital, the first thing you do is you get treated. And later on, we can sort out, you know, who's going to pay for it, how it's going to be paid for. So we recognize that, particularly in Southern Ohio, there's a large immigrant population that moves through there at the harvest time, and planting time, and things like that. And these people need to be covered when they're in Ohio. We also recognize the fact that being an industrial state, at least somewhat, you know, I may work in Pennsylvania and live in Ohio, or I may work in Indiana, and those people, or vice versa, you know, work in Ohio and live in Indiana, and those people would also be covered. We want to make sure we were as inclusive as possible. And one of the things that people come up with, everybody's going to come to Ohio for health care. In reality, you know, I don't see that happening. You know, if that was true, everybody would have gone to Canada. Everybody didn't. The reality of it is, people aren't going to move. Businesses, I believe, will move when they see the cost savings. Because businesses aren't tight, you know, mom's not living there and things like that. Greg just gave me the thing about some of the resolutions that were, I guess these are all in Region 6.
I don't think they can.
But there's some of and Region 6 is a multi-county area. Understand the state's broken up into 7 regions. And you guys are in Region 6, which includes, I'll tell you in a second, exactly which counties that includes: Ashland, Carroll, Columbiana, Holmes, Mahoney, Medina, Portage, Richland, Stark, Summit, Trumbull, Tuscarawas, and Wayne counties. And these 7 cities have passed resolutions in support of the act. One of the things I wanted to do a while ago was pass to a constitutional amendment and just say that the constitutional amendment would read something to the effect of no elected official of the state or any of their subdivisions would be eligible to receive with tax dollars insurance that is superior to that of the least of their constituents. And basically put it all on the politicians to come up with something before they lost their health care. Kind of like the strip that says he's not taking health care until everybody's covered. We'd like to mandate that for everybody. But that, yeah. Strickland never has. It goes back a lot of years.
Are there any large businesses that, because when it comes down to it, and you do have pushback from insurance companies that go down to Columbus to lobby, are there any large employers who have agreed or that would be in support of SPAN?
It's interesting. Again, Rick Wagoner, head of GM, has gone to the Canadian Parliament and talked about the Canadian healthcare plan and what other things that they need to include for his workers. And has come back across the border in the United States and said he will never support a universal single-payer healthcare plan. What I believe is it's the business roundtable. Kind of like we're all in this together. If we give it up right now for the insurance companies, then next year they're going to come after you, or they're going to come after you. So rather than breaking from the business roundtable, they're holding the line there.
What is it? Fear that if policy reflects that healthcare is more a need and a right and not a commodity this year, then maybe, good heavens, it might be education next year, or it might be housing the year after, or something else that is codified in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And you can't have that. Water.
Oh, yeah. So, it makes more fiscal sense. It makes, it's the only way that we're going to get anywhere. And what I need from you all to do is to fill out a petition